And look, we just could have had a conversation.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, Rashad and Troy, they're saying that they bring a lot of money to the city of Atlanta for that particular weekend. Because a lot of people that come to Invest Fest, they're purchasing hotels. They're going to the malls. Right? They're going to restaurants.
That's what Atlanta gonna do anyway.
Right.
That's what we do.
They feel like a lot of people coming in from out of town. They're going to purchase hotels. They're going to the restaurants. They're going to the malls. They're going to the clubs. They're doing this and doing that and bringing money to the city. Now, Andre Dickerson, who's our mayor, says, listen, we just could have had a conversation, talk about how maybe some of the proceeds from this event could come back into the community of Atlanta, and maybe we can see how we can support more.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is a for-profit event. You all are making millions of dollars off this event.
Yeah.
So maybe we could have had a conversation on you all scratch Atlanta's back a little bit more, we'll scratch y'all's, right? But y'all didn't pick up the phone and make the phone call.
Nah.
Y'all want to go on a Breakfast Club and talk bad about us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that went. Now that's the first part, Bree. I'm gonna get your thoughts on that before I talk about the next thing.
So to me, like with it now, I do understand from them from the business aspect.
Yeah.
They probably pay Steve Harvey.
Right. Good, yeah. There are a lot of celebrities, right?
What are you doing different than any club promoter in the city? You pay people to come to your club.
Yeah.
We got several partners that's club promoters.
Exactly.
You know, what makes you more different than the club promoter in this city?
Yeah.
For one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Because artists or different celebrities, different big personalities, they bring people to the club and to the, to places.
Exactly.
So, to that, and are they the ones speaking and teaching? No. You know what I mean? From what I know about them boys, they teachers. They were some school teachers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And if I don't know them boys,
right?
But two school teachers that figured out a way to teach people financial literacy,
right?
Why you ain't doing nothing special than what you're supposed to do? You feel me?
Yeah, especially the educator.
You know how to teach,
right?
Teach the community.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What you crying about the dollars for? Obviously, you didn't care about the dollars when you chose your career path.
I agree.
And being a teacher.
I agree.
You cared about that community and making these children in this community bigger than what they are.
Right.
So how are you gonna cry about you did great. Your platform is huge.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you teach.
Yeah.
You learning, and from what I know, from what I've seen, because I watched it. I like what they've done. I've watched them for a long time.
Yeah.
One person that I like, Mr. Red Panda.
Yeah.
But I've learned a lot from watching him on their show.
Yep.
And when I watch them, what I noticed, one of the biggest things I noticed, they're not teaching nothing. They learning just like their audience is learning. So but to even throw something called the Invest Fest, you just regurgitating. You not talking about things you know or done. Yeah. You just giving people a platform to talk about the things they know, which is great.
Right.
But to them boys, I don't know what they know. They learned a lot of things. Hey man,
no, I get
they learning just like their audience.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now being that they got the resources to be more closer to these people that's doing these big great things.
Right.
They have more of an advantage to invest themselves now. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
exactly.
Outside of starting a great, amazing podcast, I don't know what they brought to the investing world.
Okay.
Brought great investors to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't you. You learned too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that goes to my next point, Bree. It was a lot of people that went to this Invest Fest that just took place, and a lot of black people that went to the Invest Fest, because that's majority of the audience, 95% of the audience is black people, were making videos calling it Scam Fest, saying they're not really learning much by going to this event. Now I'm gonna say this. I've had clients of mine who have came into Atlanta over the last years to come to Invest Fest. Clients of the Rising 1%.
Okay.
And they'll come here and we'll do lunch and everything. And they'll say, Gerald, why are you not going? This is your city, Atlanta. And Gerald, you a businessman, you invest, you do different things in terms of entrepreneur. Why you not going? And I'm gonna tell you why. I never went. I never went to an Invest Fest. And it's been here in Atlanta all these years. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you why. I went to an event in Atlanta, and it was a conference. And this conference had about 3,500 people attending. Mm-hmm. And in this particular conference, I actually invested around about $2,500 to go VIP. Mm. And with VIP, I was able to sit on the first 5 rows of the conference of 3,500 plus people. Also as well, you know, they did like a VIP lunch every single day of the conference. So I got to basically eat with all the VIPs and all the guest speakers, and even Early Leisure was in the VIP. That's when I got a chance to meet them, right? So that was part of VIP. And then they did like a private event for VIPs and stuff like that too. But what I will say though is, in the conclusion of that particular event, when it was done, in my head, I was like, I don't know if this was worth $2,500. So from then on, I was just like, I don't really want to go to any more of those bigger conferences right now in the city of Atlanta with thousands of people, where they're hyping it up in regards to all these different guest speakers and celebrity speakers. Because even at that conference, Shaq was one of the speakers, and it was cool. You know, I got a few gems from it, but it was just like, nah. And when I look at it, Bri, I got more value going to a mastermind that I was in, that I invested over 30 grand a year to be in, where it was only a little bit around about 10 of us in. Yeah. I got more value out of that than going to that big conference with thousands of people, because yeah, you could go to that big conference with thousands of people. Yeah, you may get some nuggets for some of the guest speakers and get a little inspiration, and even for some of the celebrity speakers. But a lot of that information that comes from some of those guest speakers and celebrity speakers, you can go on YouTube and hear some of the same information from them. But when I was in that mastermind, Bri, information that was shared in that room, you ain't finding on YouTube. It ain't happening. You see what I'm saying? It's not Googleable. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. So that's what made me start looking at events and conferences totally different. Hello, this is G Bass, Rise of the 1%, Rise Media. We on this Saturday evening about to get ready to knock out some podcast episodes with some individuals here in the city of Atlanta making some big moves. You can see here, look. This is how it goes down. Here when our guests come and sit down with myself, G Bass, otherwise the 1% of Rise Media, to have that conversation, to share the story, share the journey, share what you got going on. So listen, everybody got a story, everybody got a journey, and then you got some things going on, then you definitely can get with us and see them. It'll be a fit to be on the Rise of 1% podcast and actually have that discussion with myself. It's going to be a link to a form for you to fill out. You said www.theriseofthe1%.com/pod-form. Again, www.theriseofthe1%.com/pod-form. It's going to be in this video. You can fill that out, and we can see if there'll be a fit for you to come on and have that conversation with myself. If you don't fill out the form, then obviously it's not for you, and that's fine. We're looking for those that's serious. Those that's serious about rising to the top 1% are already in the 1%. That's what we're looking to sit down with myself right here. As you can see, Rise Media, Rise to the 1%. This is how we get down. We have a great time and have a lot of fun doing it. So once again, if you're serious, make sure you fill out the form. We'll look over the form, see if it's a fit. If it's a fit, we'll reach out. If not, we won't reach out. We'll just continue to move forward. But with that said, this is G Bass. See you soon. Have a great one on purpose.